The recent endorsement of President Paul Biya by the Council of Traditional Rulers is a shocking display of disregard of the welfare of the people of their different chiefdoms and fiefdoms in which they represent. After 42 years of leadership of the country's president, Paul Biya, Cameroon is plagued by a multitude of issues ranging from the inadequate supply of potable drinking water, epileptic electricity supply, also the frequent seizure of electricity in some parts of the nation and rationing, with bad roads plaguing some major division, and a civil war which has claimed the lives of thousands of people in the northwest and southwest region for 7 years counting. It is horrifying to see that these traditional rulers will have to endorse President Paul Biya despite the fact that they are supposed to be apolitical and non-partisan. Apolitical simply means that these traditional rulers in their chiefdom have people who support any party of their choice and are not subjected to support a particular party. Apolitical simply means that the traditional rulers in their own position are like referees that listen to the voices of different political stakeholders in their community. Taking a stand to endorse one candidate, it now beats the question of how fair is the process going to be and how democratic is the process going to be. And is that not contradicting the traditional influence that ought to be in the traditional culture? One is not supposed to question the authority of the chief of his village. The chief of his village is eternal, and that is why when a chief dies, we don't say the chief has died, we say the chief has traveled. Travel simply means that that position is eternal, and that's why it is also difficult and also forbidden for you to question the chief's order or the front's order. If you must do that, you must do that politely and in a way that you have to tell the chief that Pambe or Fon or chief, this thing that you have done like that, don't we think that it should have been done like this? Suggestion. But when this political stand is taken, it now make the question, how fair will the process be? Will the people of this community not be tagged as rebels to go against the option of their chiefs and fiefdoms? It is also shocking that this endorsement, particularly given the dire needs of Cameroon's economy, that is almost on life support, the increase in prices of commodities that are all-time high, unemployment that is over the roof across all the major towns, cities, and villages, one is beckoned to look at the reality that these traditional rulers probably acted on one base, which is the base of the motivation that has been given to them by the state. Of course, it was highlighted in their communique that the head of state classification of first class, second class, and third class is one of the motivating factors, and that made us to understand, and many to understand, that these traditional rulers probably are now backing or endorsing based on the monthly motivation that they actually do receive, despite the fact that their citizens across their different villages are unable to put food on their table on a regular basis, despite the fact that some of them, their take-home package cannot take them home. It is also ironical to see that behind this endorsement, some of these traditional rulers don't have roads linking their major divisions and villages. Most of them don't have electricity since President Paul Biya took over 42 years. To those who even have, are suffering from rationing. The hypocrisy of this situation is further highlighted by the communique that was released by Cameroon's Minister of Communication, Renel Emmanuel Sadi, when some bishops actually questioned President Paul Biya's candidacy at 92 years. These bishops questioned and called that the president should actually have a rest and allow new actors into the field. However, the Ministry of Communication under the minister issued a communique stating that these bishops are supposed to be apolitical and non-partisan, that as it stands now, the head of state, commander-in-chief of the armed force, has not officially declared that he will be running for election, for seeking re-election. That when that time comes, it is only when he declares that these bishops or individuals need to question his candidacy. But that as of now, they need not to question his candidacy because he has not declared. And one would have expected that with the endorsement of the traditional rulers, the Imams, and also the four opposition parties, the Minister of Communication would have also come out and also give a communique telling these persons that the head of state has not officially declared that he will be running for re-election, that when the moment comes, they should actually give their endorsement, but that now the head of state has not declared. As that communique came out, when the bishops actually questioned the head of state candidacy, is that not ironic and double standard and hypocrisy raised to the power 10? However, as Cameroonians prepare for 2025 presidential election, it is imperative for Cameroonians to understand that good governance, better living standard, accountability, the rule of law, and also fairness in the justice system should be at the beck and call of a candidate that they will want to actually elect. They should know that for more than 42 years, one thing that stands out tall for the most demand for Cameroonians is a better living standard. A living standard where a Cameroonian will not be judged by the name that he possesses to be said that he comes from this particular village or this particular village. A living standard that concours will not be passed or be given a pass by virtue of who you know, how much money you have in your pocket. A living standard that concours will be judged based on merit, not based on who you know, what name you have or carry, and what power you stand on. A living standard that Cameroonians will understand that every Cameroonian is equal, that no one is more of a Cameroonian than another. A living standard whereby Cameroonians will not wait on high instructions before things are done, where things must be done on the basis on the duties and responsibility, not on high instruction or firm instruction. A living standard that the peace-loving people of the Northwest and Southwest region shall have peace as regard to the Anglophone crisis. A living standard that the students will be able to know that their curriculum will give them food on their table and not just make them to cram, would discover the sea route to India. Mongo Park. These are the plethora of issues that Cameroonians must know, and above all, a living standard that police harassment, intimidation will no longer exist, where police shall be the bed and core and the friendly nature as they ought to be for Cameroonians. However, what stake do we have for 2025? It all depends on you. You have a constitutional mandate to choose whoever you want to vote for and whoever you want to elect. Have no mistake that the president has a constitutional mandate to seek re-election based on what is stipulated in the constitution. And if he wins the election, he will definitely still be eligible for re-election. His re-election bid should not be a problem to you. It should be a problem to you if you have not registered to vote and cast your vote and defend your vote. This is House of Commons with me, Tah Mai Javis. Happy Sunday to all those of you watching us from different parts of the world. A special happy birthday to all those of you celebrating your birthday this February. I want to wish a special happy birthday to you, Mary Ann Afoma and Eukaria Afoma, my very good friends who celebrated their birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to you and many more years to you and your family. Happy birthday to you, Priska, a student of the Catholic University of Biya, who is celebrating their birthday today. A special happy birthday to you. May God continue to guide and protect you as you celebrate your birthday. And of course to you, Madam Yam Robert, I want to wish you a special happy birthday and many more years. You have been a mother to many and a mother to us also. May the God continue to guide and protect you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Rinda Yanjengwa. Happy birthday to you as you celebrate your birthday. May God continue to bless you. Yajelicious. Happy birthday to you, the one and only princess's mother. Happy birthday to you and many more years. And of course, finally, happy birthday to you, Valerie, my very good friend Valerie, a former student of the Catholic University of Biya. Happy birthday to you. My birthday will be coming up on the 11th of February. That will be when I will be celebrating my own birthday. So all my very good friends and viewers and those who love the program, in case you may want to join me during the celebration, that will be on the 11th of February. And hopefully next week Sunday, we'll also talk about it, how I intend to celebrate. Happy birthday and happy Sunday. Thanks for joining us. In the studio, we are joined by a cream of panelists who are here to dissect on the issue. We are looking at the endorsement. Biya gains more endorsement from reputable individuals. He is a son of the lion in the northwest region of the country. Prince Kotem. Happy Sunday and thanks for joining us.
Happy Sunday, Mr. Tah Mai Javis, and happy Sunday to my co-panelists. And permit me to also wish a very pleasant Sunday to all the televiewers of my Media Prime, particularly the program House of Commons, and also the Balikumba youth back there in Yaoundé, as today they seek to also visit the lion himself, His Royal Highness Ganyan III. I send salute to all of them. And as we seek to dissect this very important issue concerning the funds as well and other political gurus in the country with their endorsement, as it keep going, we've seen instances where other endorsements have been withheld, others which have been sanctioned, and others accepted. So thank you very much for having me as we dissect this very important topic.
Also in the studio, we are joined by our colleague Tete, who is here with us. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Javis, and happy Sunday to the million televiewers of my Media Prime TV. It's yet another honor for me to be here today in order for us to see how we can analyze some few topics that are really important in our socio-political activities and social life in Cameroon, given that we are moving towards a moment or a season where the political atmosphere in Cameroon will be very, very, very tense. And I want to salute every Cameroonian outsider that is taking it as a duty and is being conscious of the fact that he or she has to go and get registered at the services of Elecam when they start registration again. Thank you.
And thank you very much. Also here in the studio, we are joined by a very prominent individual coordinator of the Cameroon Renaissance movement, the entire northwest region of the country. He is also someone very, very active within the business cycle. Raul, happy Sunday and thanks for joining us.
Happy Sunday to you, Mr. Tah Mai Javis. Happy Sunday to the millions and televiewers that are watching this prestigious program. I take this opportunity to say special greetings to our millions and sympathizers of the Cameroon Renaissance movement, and just to say, to remind Cameroonians that it is important for us to always have the heart to believe and join our voice as well to say there should be an immediate release for our hundreds of prisoners that are still behind bars, that were simply arrested for simply denouncing the war that is going on in the northwest and southwest, and equally as well as the revision of the electoral code. So it is important for us to know that we played our Republican role and we called the attention of Cameroonians as well. They all got what we were denouncing, and which today it will be a golden opportunity for the Cameroonians that are watching to understand that since we are entering a very decisive period within our electoral period, so we have to be very, very vigilant, because we know that the electoral code is bad, but we also have to be part of the change, and that change has to be part of being vigilant, because if we are vigilant, we are rest assured that maybe protecting our vote will be part of the success, because we believe that it's not just the CRM that can make the change. We are calling on everybody that you are part of the change. So thanks once more, Mr. Tah Mai Javis, for inviting me, as we are going to assess the topic so that Cameroonians should remain vigilant and avoid any sort of distraction. Thank you once more.
We are supposed to have a member of the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement in the person of Dr. Isinge. Unfortunately, he just sent me a message that he may not be able to make it as far as the program is concerned. So we are going to move on with the program. We are supposed to also have Engineer Dixon, who says he's on his way, and I don't know whether or not traffic will allow him. You know, the bad roads also are a reason why most of our panelists do come late. So because of the bad roads, sometimes you are stuck with traffic and stuck at time and may not be able to get to the studio on time. Begin the program with you, Raul, since the camera is on you. The endorsement of President Paul Biya. It is, of course, it is President Paul Biya's right to seek re-election. Let us make that clear to those who are watching us, because the Constitution gives him the right to seek re-election. But now the endorsement from traditional rulers, Council of Traditional Rulers, Imams, who are also represent an arm of the religion, same like the bishops who were told to focus on their dioceses and parishes and not meddle in politics. Now Imams have now endorsed President Biya. Doctors, we have traditional rulers and 4 major opposition parties. Did you see that coming?
Actually, Mr. Tah Mai Javis, I see that coming. You know, sometimes when you listen to Cameroonians, there is this concept that they always say, opposition, they should form a coalition. They should form a coalition. They should form a coalition. So some of us that are active and vigilant in politics, and some of us that believe that change can only come through the ballot box, will remain on that strength. But the aspect of Cameroonians always saying that opposition should form a coalition, we are now saying, we have observed sometimes when we are striving forward, it is always important for us to look behind maybe what happened in 2018, because now we are getting about aspect of 4 other opposition joining voice to say they want to endorse
they have endorsed.
They have endorsed. I think in 2018 we saw it was what they call the G20. That was a group of opposition political party that came together to also endorse at that dying minute. Let me put it that way. So we believe, and we believe that it is sometimes it is good for us to tell Cameroonians that coalition is not sufficient ground to kick out the CPDM on board. The reality is that if we have a population of about 30 million Cameroonians, and at the end we just have just 8 million, so what about now the 22 million Cameroonians? It means if you can be even a newborn political party today, but if you are able to have to sensitize Cameroonians so that we can reach up to 20 million Cameroonians, we don't even need a coalition. So my dear Cameroonians, we are saying that first of all they should wipe that concept of coalition, because it's a big trap. And those who mostly promote that aspect of coalition are mostly I can say the black cabinet of the CPDM, because they will keep on ringing the ears of Cameroonians that no, opposition are not doing anything, they should form a coalition to defeat. No, we are looking on the electorate. How many are eligible to vote? Based on the current situation, we have just 8 million as per what the Elecam have stated. What about the maybe let's say we 20 million Cameroonians, we can put it at that level. So for me, at this particular moment, I'm not surprised about those, and that is why I'm saying that it is a big trap for Cameroonians or to even think that coalition can defeat.
But the CPDM has started forming a coalition, eh?
And madam, no, that is the problem. And secondly, I don't know, because you know within us the CRM, I think ever since the creation of the CRM, the national president have stated it clearly. In no way should a militant of the CRM or a communicant talks about another opposition. Our main target should be the current president with the mismanagement and all aspects. So that should be our current issue. So on that point of saying that maybe if we can join together with other people, with other the opposition, it can able to pave the way. For me, I don't see it as a way forward. And to be honest to you, Mr. Tah Mai Javis, you know, during the time where the CRM came with this aspect of the APC, which is the Political Alliance for Change, which came to endorse President Maurice Kamto as the flag bearer for that coalition. The Minister of Territorial Administration came on board. Oh, it is the criticizing the effort. I was asking, and the president, the CRM president said, if the president, Mr. Tanganji Paul, want to be a candidate, let him place. There is no problem on that. But if you want to come and tell how political parties are supposed to to take a part, it becomes a problem.
We're coming back to you.
So in that aspect, I think that it is now a point for Cameroonians to be very vigilant. They should stay focused, and all we are saying that it is not too late. We are now still in February. We still have about months to end of August to at least make sure that the rate or the voters registration should increase even up to 15 million. So necessarily will not come on board here talking about maybe a particular opposition leader who want to endorse President Biya. And I think Prime Minister Tah Mai Javis, please, just I'm pleading. You know, on what I just outlined was on the principle of the political aspect, but by legality, we have said it that there is no problem for President Biya to stand by legality. Maybe the law permits him, but now it is not about being fair, but also the constitution talks about that aspect of incapacitated, because first of all, it requirement.
How do you measure it?
You can only make the only person
who declares incapacitated.
It is the Constitutional Council, so and now the Constitutional Council is not doing it.
No, how will you say the Constitutional Council is not doing it? The Constitutional Council probably have not seen the need. The country says the country is functioning.
No. We cannot say the country is functioning. It is only during a problem that you can determine the weight.
The president received New Year wishes, greeted everybody, walked around, spoke to
Mr. Tah Mai Javis.
We're coming back to you.
Mr.
We're coming back to you. We're coming back to you. I will not forget that. I will raise it. Don't bother. Okay. I'm not trying to dance around it. I will come back to you. Right. We have been joined by Engineer Dixon, who is someone highly placed in the terms of the civil society. Engineer, traditional rulers, Imams, who are also like the bishops in the Muslim world, 4 opposition parties have endorsed President Paul Biya. Did you see that coming?
Thank you very much for having me, Mr. Javis, and happy Sunday to my fellow co-panelists. Happy Sunday to our televiewers at home. I think to respond to your question, Mr. Javis, everything to me appears to be a decoration. Neither the opposition nor the ruling party don't seem to understand what election really is, because my colleague in the other hand was trying to buttress a point talking about us validating the ability of our grandfather staying at the helm of affairs of this nation. I think it's something we should look at. The bishops of the Roman Catholic Church came out and pointed out some key indicators which I think all Cameroonians should be looking at. For someone who have served this nation, I think we've enjoyed peace for the first 30 years of his mandate. I think it's just the last 10 years that has been a little bit problematic with the Boko Haram and the Anglophone crisis in the Northwest and Southwest. So me seeing all the chiefs moving up to Yaoundé to give their endorsement, I think they are not being truthful to themselves and they are not being fair. And to me, it doesn't demonstrate respect of the elderly. We are in an African society. That's not a chiefdom. I think the presidency is an institution that take day-to-day decisions and guide the events and development of this nation. Cameroon has come to age where I think in the last 30 years we have very dynamic minds that I believe, if given the opportunity, can handle the affairs of this nation and steer it to the direction this nation has to go to. And there are some simple questions we should be asking ourselves from the 2018 election, which came and passed. There was some turmoil, and along the line everybody accepted the result, and we are now 7 years. I think we should be courageous enough to point out where some of the successes have been, where some of the failures have been, and then we can now tie it to the elderly nature of leadership. I always say that the strength of a society is a reflection of their political leaders. You know, when they say if you enter United States today or you go to any Western developed country, just ask them who is the Minister of Agriculture. They don't know. If you ask them who is the Minister of Health, they will not tell you, because to them their ministers are not the stars. The people are the stars. You see what I'm saying? So, but when you come to Cameroon and other African nations, the politicians are the stars.
Everybody will carry the name of the minister.
Yes, they're the ones who are at the forefront. No, the decision makers, the policy makers are supposed to be behind. They are the engineers of the society. They should be monitoring the society from behind. And they are not the one to dictate to the society. On the contrary, the society dictates to them. So I think that maturity is still missing in African leadership. And if we look at how much money we spent in the last election, we're about to spend again that same amount of money, and the results the results from the outcome have not been favorable to the common man. Permit me indicate to you, Mr. Javis, that I think our cries of high food prices have started reaching the right ears. The government tried to make moves to make sure that Cameroonians could eat the distributed rice, 50 kilogram of rice at 15,000 francs, even though some Cameroonians who benefited are saying the quality is not good. But I think it's a good move. It shows that they are gradually becoming sensitive to the hunger issues. Also, we did a small survey in the market, and we discovered that the 25 kilogram of rice, the price has gone down a little bit. So I think it's a kudos to them. Our apply is that this economy should work, and I'm not saying that to criticize any leadership, but I'm saying that we should start looking at things the way things will put them in perspective. We are in a artificial intelligence age. Believe me, if our leaders don't wake up, our children will turn this country upside down. And if they have not been empowering the youth who are behind them now, then believe me that these children will turn the whole country, and their legacy will be wiped away like sand. So I think that is something we should be looking at critically and seeing how we can put things in perspective. Like I said, to conclusively, Mr. Javis, I want to say the ruling party don't really have a hand on what is actually going on as far as economic development is concerned, as well as the opposition parties themselves. They are confused.
So it's a matter of the people now.
The people, they should look at the Cameroonians. They should stop looking at themselves. That's what I'm saying. Because I said political leaders observe the society. If you see that this is what the people want, people have been crying for roads. I think roads are more important than your position. Because why are you vying for a political position in the first place? It's because there is an aspect of humanity in you which is given by the ancestors for you to drive a change that will benefit everybody. I think that is on the premises on which we should be viewing leadership.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Tah Mai Javis. Cameroonians should not be distracted by the political games that are going. Many more political parties and groups will endorse the incumbent in the days ahead. The most important thing is for people to register and vote. Jacob, writing from Bamenda. This one says, good afternoon. I am Moses from Sokapam, Bongo. Please tell the man MRC that we need an Anglophone president in Cameroon. Camto should wait for 2032. Okay. This other one, right? It says, okay, Ekome. This one says, Mr. Daniel Ekome, your colleague and brother watching from Biya. Happy Sunday to you, Mr. Ekome. This other one says, happy Sunday to you. Okay, happy Sunday. Kotem, did you see the endorsement coming? Now, what's your position of traditional rulers endorsing President Paul Biya? You are from the northwest region of Cameroon. Your tradition is sacred that you don't argue the chief or the fund. Now that the fund has taken a position that is President Paul Biya, anybody that votes against this, is that person not going against what the sacredness of the tradition, or does the endorsement desecrate the culture?
Thank you very much, Mr. Tah Mai. It is to be noted that when we talk about funds, chiefs, these traditional authorities, before I dive into that, we have to understand that Cameroon is a state of law, and every state of law is being guaranteed by its supreme norm, which is the Constitution, because the Constitution is the supreme fundamental norm of the state. So if the Constitution actually have guaranteed our privileges, our rights and obligations, then flowing from the Constitution, we do have laws, and these laws must be respected. Among these laws is to be noted that there is a law of order, the law of 1979, that actually deals with the dispute and the organization of traditional chiefdoms, fondoms, and the authorities, the institutions under the authority of the state. And when you look at this, you realize that this law actually brings the funds and the chiefs under the authority of the administration. And who are the administration? Of course, is the executive power. And the executive power, which is headed by the prime minister, or the government by the prime minister, and the executive power by the president, we realize that in this country and where we find ourselves, we understand that we are in a system where it is more of partisan than serving the people and development. It's more about hanging on to power. And if it's about hanging on to power, all mechanisms will be used and to ensure that they still hold on to power. That is why you see this law actually came up. They not only organize these chiefdoms, but also put provisions for allowances for funds, chiefs, and other people. And when you start paying people, of course, those people will be responsible or will be answerable to you. And it's from this time we started having problems about with our chiefdom, traditional authorities in Cameroon. And so when they become politicians or politicized, or these institutions being politicized, you will not expect something different rather than them endorsing the person who actually pays them. So for me, it is not something surprising. What is more surprising is the fact that these people are supposed, in its originality, be the custodians of the laws of the people, or of the tradition, the custodians of the tradition of the ancestors that they actually represent. But with the recently, or with the modern chiefs and fondoms, I usually call them, they have become politicians, and so their hands are tight. It becomes difficult for them to be able to do something different from which the one who pays them demands of it. Talking about Mr. Tah Mai, listen to what I said. I said when you are being paid, of course you represent the views of the person who pay you. You are being paid by my major prime. Can you do something different than what my major prime requires you to do?
I will stand by the canon of journalism, and if I think there's not within the context of the canon of journalism, I quit.
Good. It's like, that's why you see they said
except they are being greedy.
He said, look at if you see
there's a canon of traditionalism now, which is a tradition.
Of course, you know that Cameroon has, I think, more than 260 ethnic groups in Cameroon, and all these ethnic groups are represented by chiefs and fonds and all the likes. Did you see all the chiefs actually signed?
The council of traditional rulers, a representative of
a council represent.
Yes. This council represent the heads of all the regions. Yeah, the council. That's why I say the council of traditional rulers, which means it's not say this is like a representative, a council of youth leaders, delegates representing their different constituencies coming together.
Mr. Tah Mai is an institution.
The president of Northwest of Chief, did he sign? That should be the question.
In what capacity did he sign? If he did, who are you? We should be asking the journalist.
He was there.
He was there, but he did not sign. Those names on the document are names of the executive members of the council, of the National Traditional Council.
The president of each regional
land. No, but if they were there, they were there. Even it's the representative. Prince, you are a civil society. And
I belong to a political party. The Movement for Patriotism and People's Prosperity, abbreviated the MP3.
Please, this is it. Let me give you this simple another question. Maybe it will guide you. All these traditional rulers cannot contain in Yaoundé. That's why representatives were sent to go and represent the people. That's why I call the Council of Traditional Rulers. And now when the leaders take decision, they have to sign to represent the views. Are you saying that the leaders are not competent to represent the voices of traditional rulers in Cameroon?
Mr. Tah Mai, what are traditional rulers doing in Yaoundé?
But you just asked me a question that if my media prime...
when I asked that, what are they doing in Yaoundé, in the sense that I would not want to narrow myself only to the places of the Northwest and Southwest, because I talk about traditional rulers all over the country. I saw the the minister of the
territorial administration.
No, not territorial administration. Of course, the minister of state, minister of higher education, chancellor of academic orders, Professor Jacques Famdongo. I saw him. He was a traditional ruler there.
Yes.
So when you see him there as a traditional ruler, at the same time he is the national secretary for communications for the CPDM. At the same time, he is the Minister of Higher Education. What do you infer from there? You don't look in law. They say res ipsa loquitur. It speaks for itself. Now, when you have people of this sort and they come together and they tell you we are politicians at one point, and when they turn they face the other side, they are traditional rulers. They turn this other side, they are ministers. Mr. Tah Mai, is not different from what happened with our funds. Now, most of the time when we talk, we narrow ourselves only to the Anglophone or the Northwest funds and chiefs. No. People came from the West region. People came from the extreme north.
No, we are not narrowing that. We are just simply saying that.
Yeah.
We are just using our case as an example. That, okay, we know the president of National House of Chiefs was there. You were talking about the issue that it was not all traditional rulers. But traditional rulers have not come out to say that I did not consent to this. I did not consent to this. You are a legal person. And you know that silence is an admission of guilt.
Yes. And some people even commented on some people
silence also represent 2%.
No, you are talking me. I'm looking for me. He's a Jewist. I'm looking at him from the perspective. Yes,
Mr. Tah Mai, are all the funds and chiefs members of the traditional council? I don't think so. But that is not. I think we should not be taking more time on that. I think what makes it particular about our funds of the Northwest and Southwest is the fact that it's more aggravated with the Anglophone crisis that have been taking lives of Cameroonians. I think this is the 9th year now moving, and we think that they need to uphold a different point of view than that of which the ruling government is actually doing, because the ruling government is not doing good. They have preferred arms, using arms as solution rather than other alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. That's why the MP3 has not ceased, never, because we are patriots. It's a party for the patriot. Thank you. Yesterday we had a press conference where we actually put forth the 12 key points to unleash the potentials of Cameroon from 2025. And in these 12 key points, with a particular case of the Northwest and Southwest, we look at, in the second key point, we look at bringing forth a state that represents us and looks and resembles us, which means that we are proposing to Cameroonians out there that we will be able to organize a national conference that will determine the form of the state. And with the form of the state, which has been, and most people have always clamored for, to be the solution to the Anglophone crisis, is what we are proposing, and which this government has not been able to do. And what they are instead doing is crumbling the small one that is left. You hear people telling you about this reconstruction, special status. It's not leading us anywhere. Cameroonians need to start, and our funds, what makes it more particular about you is the fact that you are seeing all these things happening, but you are not saying a word. Well, not all of you, some of you, and that is what we are calling on you as young people. The people who believe in our culture as Pan-Africanists, believe in our culture. We are telling you that you have a special and sacred place in aspect Pan-Africanism, aspect our cultures and traditions or customs of our lands. With my case, the Balikumba community, I have always talked about it, and I will continue to talk about it. We know our lion is a respectable person. It's a respectable lion, to be more precise. And we think that sometimes lions do take a retreat behind to reason and think of the way forward before attacking the prey. And we believe that you are listening to us, your children, as sons and daughters of Balikumba, to be precise. And we hope that other sons and daughters also call on their funds to be able to take this stand, so that we can be able to look for a lasting solution. The people are suffering there, and we cannot be sitting in Yaoundé, sitting in Douala, or having our new chief. We have transferred now our sacred home from the villages back there in the Northwest and the Southwest to Douala and Yaoundé. I don't know how our ancestors, if they have also transferred themselves to Douala and Yaoundé, but you have that place. We are talking to you, that listen to your subjects, because we have you at heart, and you have a very special position in resolving this crisis. Endorsing Mr. Biya may be something which you must have been led to, because we understand most of these our funds and chiefs too are also people who have come from the big schools in Cameroon who want to cite Enam and this. And you know, when you go to Enam and you come back, you are not only an administrator, but you are also a member of the party in power. That is not something we are hiding. It's what is there. And MP3 seeks to change this situation. Mr. Tah Mai,
we have had people who have come out and are not members of the party. Yeah. I think that would be general.
I'm not generalizing. I say some of them. Okay. Let me be precise. I say some of them. We've been able to see them in so many instances.
Thank you.
And sometimes it's correct that we should say these things as they are, so that these people get to understand the plight of the people.
Coming back to you. I want to use the word of our engineer, who is one of the panelists with you there. Now that the huge sums of money are used to run election and the result comes out to be something that does not have the impact of helping the Cameroonian people, and I agree 100% with him. So the clear statement is that election in Cameroon is just like making a formality to blindfold the people and the international community, and everything was decided by the Cameroonian people so that the same people should continue to grind the Cameroonian people. I am Elite writing from Limbe. This other one says, greetings to you. It is unfortunate that the Northwest and Southwest have long gone. That is the gospel and bitter truth. Please do not. Okay, thank you very much. This one says, Mr. Tah Javis, to all the members in the panel, all the opposition political parties are not serious. They are jokers. One can clearly see it. Pobia is winning 2025 election. That is for sure. No doubt. I don't know how Maurice Kamto want to put up his candidacy still under the MRC because the law is against him. I asked the opposition militant that how many police stations are in Cameroon. This militant does not even know. These guys stay in Yaoundé and Douala thinking that you will win election in Cameroon by focusing in just 2 or 3 regions. But CPGM has gone right down to Menji in the BLM and through our Menchum division, playing politics there, and CPGM is well represented in all above 225,000 police stations in Cameroon. Then you see a militant saying a coalition. Unfortunately, that's not what is written here. A coalition is not needed to defeat CPGM. Mr. Javis, did you see Honorable Cabral Libi attack Maurice Kamto the other day? These guys are jokers. Javis, they are not ready to take power in this country. Let's forget about the media show. CPGM has established itself. This is coming from an anonymous sender. This other one, right? It says to me. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Tah Mai, please let me.
I'll come. No. You have been talking now. You answer. No, you answer it. You answer it.
Let's talk about opposition.
No, you answer it the other round. Just I'll read it.
Here.
Yeah, I'll read it. You answer it. Tete, did you see that coming?
I will take a quick look at this thing, like in the way a media man can look at it, concerning the actions of the funds and traditional rulers. We've been asking questions if the traditional rulers should get themselves involved in politics or not. It's really a complex situation here. We are really facing a complex situation, but then after going through some few researches and reading some few articles, trying to also understand the basic of culture and looking at them as funds already, it already shows politics. They are already leaders. And the question now, should they involve in politics? After going through some few things and reading, traditional rulers involving themselves in their country politics will be of great help if the government was doing something good. If the government was working in a positive way that would satisfy the population. Because when we look at the cultural significance of it, traditional rulers often hold significant cultural powers. And when they get themselves involved in politics in state where the state is well organized, it will foster more development in their areas. But when they get involved at a time where they themselves, they cannot even access their villages, it becomes a critical question. Let's not even look just back at the Anglophone crisis. We have some of those chiefs from the south center region that to go to their villages is nightmare. So when you look at the critical shape, then why are you endorsing maybe somebody that has not provided roads to your place? What are you gaining from it? Maybe they have something else they are gaining from the government, which they are the only people who know about it. And to talk about their endorsement of President Pobia, any Cameroonian that's surprised about this, I don't understand why you're surprised, because all Pobia has been made kukuma, funds of funds, giving titles. So I was not surprised when I saw it, because they cannot abandon their colleague. Automatically Pobia is a fund because they've made him that. How will it look like for them abandoning their colleague at this crucial time? We keep crying every day. There's a friend who said we keep crying every day that Pobia should resign, whereas we have made him fond of funds. Do we have funds who resign? Fund dies on. They die on power. No, I'm just. It's not my point of view.
I know it's not my point of view. I want to ask. What is the name of your presidential, where your president live?
The name of my president?
Where the president live, the house?
The Unity Palace.
Where does the phone live?
In a palace.
Okay, continue.
All right, again. I don't know if you are just adding more. You're adding more.
No, I'm just corroborating the argument that those people are giving.
That's what I'm trying to. Some people, because when we look at things now, I want to react now. Instead of political parties to be focused on questioning, or Cameroonians questioning their funds, why they are endorsing Pobia, they should rather check on ways to see how they can make things better for them. Because when you look at it, it might look like a form of distraction in the eyes of Cameroonians. Because normally these are things that should not surprise you. And Javis, I bet you in the days ahead, closer to October, we'll see more endorsement, more political parties rallying behind President Pobia. Different things will happen.
Maybe students will join.
They are very soon they will tell you that students of this particular university, those are things we had in 2018. Those are the same things. And those are not the kind of things, as a media person being observant, those are not the kind of things that politician or the opposition should be focused on. Now, presently, they have to be focused on what can I give Cameroonians. Be on the field with your people. Recently, Honorable Joshua Osi, he dropped some videos in his WhatsApp channel and on his YouTube, seeing him visiting some inferior places in the Grand North, in the Southwest and other regions of Cameroon. That's a good path. Visit your people. I think some people of the MRC, they are also involving themselves in community activities with the population. Those are the kind of things we should focus on now. All these movements, seeing Lamidos going and endorsing President Pobia, Imams doing the same thing, that's nothing. That's not what we should be focused on now. Be focused on what you want. Don't be focused on what the state, because they are working. When they are working, you are instead there criticizing them. They keep working. We criticize that the funds endorse. The Lamidos came and endorsed. The different opposition parties came and endorsed.
They are not stopping. Now they said
they are not
they
stopping.
They said the bishops are supposed to stay in their parishes and dioceses. The imams who are religious, who are like the bishops in the Muslim community, aren't they supposed to stay in their mosques?
The bishop, according to the, I don't know if they call that the canon law of some, according to that law, bishops don't have to get involved in politics.
No, we are saying that the
normally minister, according to the Catholic's canon law.
Keep aside canon law.
That one, I'm not saying they didn't have something to say.
No, like an opinion view.
Yes. But then they have a message they have to preach. There's a way to send the message. There's a way to send the message. There was a way to send the message. Not saying Paul Biya has to go. You can preach it. Even in times of war, like you see when they were organizing the Grand National Dialogue, some parish priests were invited. Some big pastor, the moderator, the former reverend moderator of the Presbyterian Church was invited. Because they know their role, they have a message to send out. From according to their law, I'm not saying maybe they did not have to cry out like normal citizens, but according to their normal laws in the Catholic Church.
Now my opinion, my question to you briefly, so that we'll move to Raul and the rest. My question to you, how do you separate Bishop Samuel Cleda as a bishop of the Roman Catholic Church and Samuel Cleda as a Cameroonian who exercises his political right?
It will be very difficult. Because he has taken an umbrella of a bishop.
How will it be very difficult? He also has a vote to cast. That's where
the problem comes in. That's where the problem comes in.
No, please, politicians, allow him to land.
That's where the problem comes in now. He votes, but he does not have, according to his other boss. It means if he speaks out, he has defied his other.
No, but how do you separate? He's first of all a Cameroonian.
It now depends on him. It depends on him. It's not me. It depends between him and. It's now
like the situation of Kingdom between him and the Pope. Like the situation of Kingdom who belong to my bishop.
Like when Pope was giving opinion to the Ukrainian crisis.
Even Donald Trump, even in election.
Pope was cautioning Donald Trump.
He was.
You say that.
He cautioned. Let's find a way. Let's find a way. They have not refused them to preach a message.
Because the Pope said Trump will not be a better candidate.
They have a way to do that. They have a way to do that. And normally, even us questioning the funds.
They were not criticizing Paul Biya, but they were speaking humanity based. They were on.
No, one of the priests said
the bishop of
that
Yugua.
they need change, even if it is that Satan is the one to
They will
rule.
look after.
Yes,
But
Satan
that was
should better
figurative
come.
now.
Like,
Have you ever seen
even
Satan?
if figurative or sarcasm, know the kind of words
The
you
question
use.
is, have you ever seen Satan? Has any of us ever
We have
seen
never
Satan?
seen Satan.
Have you ever touched Satan?
You always hear it just from biblical lessons.
So why
or
do
lesson
we
from the
why do
Quran.
we hold him that he says Satan should come? Are we not? Is a figure?
Javis,
your money, you are using
Javis,
Bible, you don't have electricity.
Yes.
I am just giving out
The
some
general opinion.
general opinion
What
from
people think.
Cameroonians. It's not my opinion. What we fail to understand whenever we always attack media personalities thinking we are working against you people. We are not working against you people. We'll say what the people will say. When the journalists will keep asking you questions about coalition, it's because we have viewers, audience that keep saying coalition, coalition, coalition every day. We are not the ones saying it.
That's
It
to
comes
confirm
from the
that I have a
people.
lot of messages on coalition.
You see, it comes from people. It's not like the media is the one forming it. It comes from the
Okay.
masses.
So
They keep asking, but we say coalition cannot work. Then how are we? And we are not even focused on working. Every day the opposition now turn to fight each other. Recently, Cabralibi said he cannot work with Maurice Kamto.
No, don't declare that. No.
Yeah.
He said
He said he cannot work with anybody that
has
have worked
worked
with the regime, with the
with the
government.
regime.
But I think
And
That
you see
is
political
attacking.
parties recently, I have screenshot of TikTok where CRM members they gather on a live session to insult Cabralibi, send derogatory word. Is that what we are focused on? That's not what we should be working
Okay,
on.
we're coming back to you. Yeah, we're coming. It's your time to talk. Let me read this message. I know you politician, you also react. We have about 20 minutes or so. Good morning to you, Javis, all panelists. I am super proud of you, Mr. Javis. The chiefs have sold their consciences long ago with everything happening in Cameroon. Can you look at the roads in Douala and Yaoundé and other parts of Cameroon? Do you see the educational problems of the people of the north? Do you see the water issue? Just drinking water and electricity the government is not able to supply after this long in power. Then chiefs will come to push Biya to be a candidate again. You can see why they can't live in their villages, because they are not served. They are not because they are not served when they are safe when they are with their people. I weep for Cameroon. I am Sharon. Sharon, contributing from the United Kingdom, married to a Cameroonian, and God bless you. This one says, I love your program, Mr. Tah Mai. Kundi Ivo, watching from Yaoundé, called Mensang. Multi-party politics is really the main problem we have in Cameroon. I think going for a presidential election with two incoming candidates, or even one, would be help to us. I advise the opposition party to come together as one and bring us the candidates that will go. Where we keep reading messages, coalition. But the opposition party says no, coalition is a strategy. No. How do we reconcile this now?
Mr. Tah Mai Javis, what I'm saying is that no one is refusing coalition, but if we put coalition at the center, on top of the table, because when you look, we endorse the APC, which is a that's political party that have decided to come together to endorse President Maurice Kamto. We are not saying that coalition is bad, but we have seen it. It's too even early. Sometimes we have to believe in the natural point, natural views. True opposition political party will come together naturally, because the truth is that even the God of let's say the God is listening our cry. It is not something for us to be playing political game or doing what is called showbiz. Mr. Tah Mai Javis, for me, I think I as someone that have a bit of royalty, sometimes I'm always skeptical to come maybe to talk about issue of traditional rulers or leaders. We have military, we have traditional leaders, we have those from the religious society. I think there is no problem for them to exercise their civic and political rights. But it becomes a problem when you become partisan. That is where the problem lies. Because for me, when you see a state where we are working on human faculty, as I keep on saying, that there is no problem. Even the point I was trying to raise about principle of legality that President Biya has to, it does not mean that I'm in support. We are looking at the state, the human faculty, that the president is not able to resolve or respond to many problems that Cameroonians are crying. Because the truth is, it is not just to assume or be at the helm, but it's about when people elect you, it means they believe in you. They believe that at least you can be able to resolve. If there's a problem in this particular community, you are able to respond to it instantly without necessarily waiting that because there are some critical issues that maybe need immediate solution without necessarily waiting that things should be going this way. But that is why if you look on this analysis, when you look at, first of all, the Anglophone crisis, 8 years, like they say, a true leader can only be determined when there is a crisis. 8 years is not 8 days, it is not 8 weeks that people have lost their life. But that human faculty, that ability to resolve this problem, he is not able. He assumed power, and up to now, he is not able to resolve the problem. And look at problem of water. There are areas, even in Douala, Yaoundé, that people are not able to drink good water. But that is the problem. We are saying that
Dada is the best leader.
No, the truth is that, you know, like when you talk about opposition, political opposition, I don't think we have about 300 and something.
Yeah.
We have many chiefs, funds. Maybe those are just part that endorse, but that is why I remain on the point that Cameroonians need to be vigilant.
Mr. Amba,
because at the end,
let me ask
you can do what they call showbiz in we say political showbiz, but at the D-Day, you know who you are going to cast your vote. So that is why I said we should not spend time talking about that aspect. The Cameroonians are, I think, they are very intelligent enough. We don't need now. This is not the time that we can come and be showcasing a leader.
If Cameroonians spend time talking about the actions of the front, it might be because they lack what to talk about the opposition.
What I'm saying,
what moves is the opposition doing?
What I'm saying is that Cameroonians are very intelligent, and I believe in Cameroonians that they base on track record. Because when you want to assess a leader, start looking at the track record. Because they say character is just like pregnancy.
Mr. Amba, let me ask you this question. Let me briefly ask you this question. You are talking about track record here. Yeah. In 2018, Cameroonians understood the track record. In every 10 Cameroonians, 9 is saying that we need change.
Perfectly.
In every 10, even the one that is saying that we don't need change, somehow still say we need change. Now, these 9 Cameroonians in 10 keep saying that please come together, come together, come together. You people keep saying no, we'll not come together now. No, it's a strategy, or time is still there. How much time do you think we have? No. Now, let me ask you a question. Don't you think that because of the fact that many people have not seen the concerted effort of opposition parties to come together, they feel reluctant to even register to vote because they know that if the vote is spread across, it will not be meaningful. Don't you think the coalition will be a push factor for many people to register?
Perfect. I think Cameroonians, if you look from 1992 up to 20, you realize that massive registration, the call was launched, if you like, last year. We saw huge Cameroonian, most especially the youth. Mr. Tah Mai Javis, it's a push factor, it's true. But when you are working with a system that has all the mechanism, be it the crook mechanism, you have to be very vigilant. If today, as I'm talking to you, if the CRM decide now to unveil those that have already endorsed or the other political party, I bet you, Mr. Tah Mai Javis, that the next day you start getting knocked on most of those leaders to bribe them, which I don't want to work on principle of assumption.
But this is
I am saying to you, Mr. Tah Mai Javis, that is the reality. You have to put, you have to put strategy.
Akeremuna has launched a coalition.
What
as
I am
the government
saying
goes
is that
and bribe the other
Mr. Tah Mai Javis,
why are they
we
hiding
are in
theirs?
a very decisive period, and we should not to enter into what.
But you keep saying we're in a decisive. The person who's supposed to take you there says I need a coalition.
Mr. Tah Mai Javis, we should not get into showbiz. We go in, we maybe the group of opposition leader comes on board and you start taking pictures. The next day, you see, we are. That's what I'm saying. I'm
what
ending.
The CPDM is doing now is not showbiz.
I am ending that. Our vocal point, what we should advocate, Mr. Tah Mai Javis. They should. The CRM leader, President Maurice Kamto, has said, Cameroonians, just go and register.
Okay.
The time will come. Give the rest to me.
Inscrivez-vous d'abord.
That is it. Just register.
Okay.
It's October.
Engineer Dixon. Engineer Dixon, you are not a politician here.
Yeah,
I think you and Tete are the only
not.
person who are not politicians, but you have the right to exercise your franchise.
I speak for the common man.
For the common man.
Yes.
Now I'm an engineer.
Yes.
The common man says we want coalition where we can go and cast our vote. And of the total people who are there, a lot of people hanging on the fence who say they only go and cast their vote, they see coalition. But the opposition say, oh, we cannot form coalition now. You cannot trust the system. They will corrupt the system. It means that they themselves are not going to change because they are saying that they can be corrupted.
Mr. Javi, from what my fellow co-panelist is revealing, the member of MRC, I think it's very disheartening for him to use this platform to make mention of the fact that politics is not showbiz. Politics can be everything when it's time to do the politics. It's not showbiz when it's time to work. I don't know if you understand what I've said. When it's time for campaign, it's actually showbiz because you are marketing what? I'm coming.
And it's a push.
You are marketing. You are marketing
Yes.
idea. You are selling idea. You are selling your policies to the
And
people.
galvanizing your base.
It's showbiz. So it's not. I'm coming. It's not coalition. I'm coming. I'm coming.
It is not a program.
It's not Ngumba House. It's not something that you are doing under.
I will tell you that we do that in crisis.
I'm buttressing a point.
But we cannot do it.
I'm buttressing a point here. Okay, the people are watching, and those who are doing the politics can only help the people make a decision. And you only help the people make a decision if you are revealed to the people. So you can't say no, it's not time for a coalition, or if you coalesce now something will happen.
Because you saw what happened in 2018 with the G20. You know how the birth of it came. You can trace it back.
Yeah.
Deductive reasoning.
No, I'm coming. I am saying so.
At that minute, Cameroonians were shocked that.
Are you saying that it means that these parties cannot be trusted because they'll be bribed?
That's the point. That's what we're asking. That's the question we're asking. Why don't you trust yourself?
Why don't you trust?
Because all of you have the good of the nation at heart. Come together, put your ideas together, and allow Cameroonians to make that decision to choose either the opposition or the ruling party. But you people are making things difficult for Cameroonians. How many parties are there?
Leaders who meet.
When opposition parties start fighting themselves, they are fighting themselves.
How are they fighting, Mr.
No, when you hear this other, I don't want to call names, but you hear this political leader saying this about this political leader, say this. Yeah, no, but I am encouraging you, the opposition parties, to come together, unite your ideas, and present to the people.
Start with the electorate.
We have registered. Then you are the one mentioning numbers, and in the history of Cameroon, it is the first time that the electoral list is going out up to 11 million. You are talking about 8 million, is going to 11 million.
I am saying based on.
So we are aware that we need change, and we are making our voices heard by going outside to register. The youths are registering massively, and you should. The opposition party should make it easy for the decision to be made.
The youths are saying that we need coalition. I see.
The coalition is going. The coalition is going. We
so
let me answer our principle.
See, why I'm saying this, we are at a stage of crossroad when we have a situation whereby the head of state, I'm coming, will address a nation, and then you have ministers trying to explain that speech. There is a problem. It means that we can't understand our president. You have to come and explain what he's saying to us. Number one. Number two, we are in a situation whereby the private sector of this country is taking advantage of Cameroonian youths, and nothing is being done. You have businessmen running businesses, salaries not being paid through banks. How many Cameroonians have bank account? Very few. Now, I'm coming. It's part of the topic.
It's building.
Why are you going for elections? You should listen to the voice of the masses. It's part of the topic. What should push you to go for coalition is what I'm saying now. So if
Nobody
you people,
has refused.
if you people really have this nation at heart, and you understand that there is a generation
Right.
that has come
When you react,
that want things to work, and we are ready to give support to any candidate that will speak sense, and not only speak sense, but will check your track record to make sure that you have an antecedence of rigor, moralization, and prudence in implementation. So I think that these are the elements that we are going to be observing amongst you, the opposition. But if you can't do it, then we'll be left with no choice. We'll give the president another mandate.
No, you,
No.
you say who, you and who. That I think that is a.
I'm
by
speaking as a common man.
by not going to vote, you are giving the president his mandate.
That's what I'm saying. You are giving the
Yes.
mandate.
Specify yourself.
Because
because you.
okay, this is it. Hello, good afternoon. Angel, good afternoon. This one says, good afternoon in the studio. I love your program. Nearly all Cameroonians want change, but it seems as if the opposition is not ready to carry on with people. How can they say it is early to form a coalition? I am seeing them not being serious. This one says, Mr. Tah Mai Javis, you see why I asked the opposition parties, you see why I say opposition parties are jokers. They don't, they have no, no. Hi, good Javis. For opposition to come as just a plan A plan B is a constant resistance of protecting your vote. Well, see that CPDM is at the center referee of the match. Will plan B that they can't resist the will of the people. If there's no plan A, plan B is dead upon arrival. The CPDM is giving Cameroonians low spirit. The opposition are also giving Cameroonians low spirit, no hope. I am Kadi writing from Cyprus, which Kadi is saying that opposition to come together and form a coalition. Then plan B will be that they can actually fight and defend the vote. Because if they cannot fight, if they cannot come together, they will not be there to plan and defend their vote. Happy Sunday, Mr. Javis and panel. I want to ask the Ministry of Territorial Administration if the Ministry of Territorial Administration have the mandate to receive sympathizers of the CPDM party. If the chiefs are support of the CPDM party, how does that concern the Ministry of Territorial Administration? Good afternoon, Javis and brave nation builders in the studio. Javis, this is my worry. As I just updated that in the Northwest, people have been advised to stock their houses enough food stuff during and after election, because nobody will be allowed to leave their house unless you have enough security. And the people are saying that they can risk themselves only if there was a coalition, because to hand better tie than because two hands better tie the bundle. Let the political parties tell us, the masses, the measures taken to protect them during and after the election. This is coming from Valentine. This one says the coalition that some people are talking is not the best strategy, because it will never come to agreement by different opposition parties. See now the fact that opposition coalition is not and will not and even change anything. Thank you very much. This one says, good afternoon, Tah Mai Javis and Co. I saw the endorsement of President Paul Biya by traditional ruler. In fact, more endorsement of President Biya candidacy for 2025 presidential election is still to come. The truth is that defeating President Paul Biya through election in Cameroon is as impossible as camel passing through the eye of a needle. To me, President Paul Biya already won the. Yeah, of course, NS, that's your opinion from Ebolowa. This other one says, good afternoon, Javis. I will better cast my vote to a -- in which I do not know than to vote President Paul Biya. My vote card. Thank you. This is coming from an anonymous sender. This one says, good day to you all in the studio. Fund cannot bite the finger that feed them because they are on salary. This one says, good afternoon, panel in the studio. I am Ms. Andy, watching from Yaoundé, who voted for President Paul Biya to take over power in 1982. Who voted for President Paul Biya to take power in 1982? And Cameroonians are still brainwashed. Vote can remove him from power. Never. Only no vote can actually remove him from power. This right is okay. Prince Kote, you wanted to react. We have just about 7 more minutes. There were some things that my colleague raised which you were not pleased with.
Mr. Tah Mai, I will permit me. Cameroonians, I want to talk to you. The Movement for Patriotism and People's Prosperity, the MP3, as of this point, has realized that it is no longer about coalition or who is not coalition. But what we should be thinking about is what program do these candidates have for you and for us as Cameroonians. All along, I've been listening with your messages you've been sending. The opposition are not serious, Cameroonians are not serious, people are not serious, and all the like. You and I live in this country. For those within the country, we all witness the very bad nature of the roads. The roads have become open grave for us. Electricity now has become, I don't know, some sort of privilege that when at the point in time, after a blackout, when electricity come back, we jump and shout like it was a birthday party. We are in that country where to have good potable water is a problem. We are in that country where justice is now for the strong and those who have been able to magazine the taxpayers' money. We are in that country where educational system can no longer produce people who will be very suitable for the job market. Cannot produce, but educational system produce bike riders, have produced people to start selling out bags and shoes online without even having customers. We have a system where young people have become the old people and the old people are now the young people. So at this point in time, what is most important for us to do is to register and vote. But first of all, start by registering. Whether the opposition is not united or not united, start by going to register. The time will come, and when the time will come, you'll be able to choose who among these people. Infer from Senegal, infer from other countries that you've seen. At the point in time, it's not just about how many people come together, but it's about what program they have for us, because 1,000 people can be going a particular way and 2 people going another way. It doesn't mean that those people who are going 1,000 that way is the right way. No. What is important at this point is the program. That is why the MP3 has been able to bring forth. You've been seeing, and yesterday we actually do that press conference where we exposed to you our program. And one of the first, which is known as the 12 key points, the continent rise up. One of the key points, the first of the 12 key points, talks about we have to stop the wastage of our Cameroon taxpayers' money by cutting down the government ministers or ministries from 60 to 20. How does that sound to you? Imagine the tax, how much money of the taxpayer, billions are going to maintain ministries. Some few weeks ago, I attended the African Youth Congress in Uganda, Kampala, where you understand Uganda has a population of 48 and plus million people, and they have, I think, 23 or 24 ministries. Cameroon, we have a population of approximately 30 million and to 31, and we have 60, I think it's 63 or 64 ministries. How do we sponsor those ministries? And Cameroonians are suffering out there. They keep increasing us taxes because they want to keep those ministries. Why? Because those ministries are what they use for their campaigns. It's part of the party in power. We have to cut that down. The second key point talks about the state that represents us and brings us together, which put forward that we need to come together as Cameroonians and have a conference that will decide what is the state in order to also solve this problem in the northwest and southwest, and also maybe have a state as we will decide that will be able to represent our different cultural backgrounds and development of the people. The third point talks about family at the heart of the nation, where children born in Cameroon will be able to have salary or have an allowance that will be able to accompany. Mothers will be able to vote without will be able to put to bed without paying maternity fee. The fourth talks about schools that provide opportunities, and this opportunity will talk about the type of educational, like the STEM education. What is happening today? Science, technology, entrepreneurship, mathematics. What is happening today? No, Mr. Tah Mai, that's why we're saying Cameroonians is not about who wants to, who is united or what, but it's about the program. What we have to emancipate to that level where we don't longer look at the person like the individual, but the program that they have for us. Like we have light problem, we have internet problem, we have all these problems. Stop looking at people, look at the problem.
I want to cue you. Yes, we have, the manifestos are very good. All manifestos are very good. But you talked about Senegal. it was a consistent effort before Senegalese went to the vote. It was a coalition, whether I like it or not.
Yes.
If you look at 1992,
yes,
the closest Cameroonians came to pick Ni John Fundi was a coalition. Union pour le changement.
Yes.
And at the time, Cameroonians were not even divided as they are divided now. It took a coalition. Now, let us look at reality. Can a single party pull the cart where it could not pull the cart in 1992 without a coalition? Can it pull the cart now with the Northwest and Southwest crisis that has further brought in Black Leg and Red Leg, with the Northern, with the infighting, with the also? Can it?
Thank you, Mr. Tah Mai. The movement, the MP3, please.
No, please let him land. Please. We are out of time.
The MP3 party has never thrown out the issue of coalition or coming together, because we believe in building together. We cannot build individually. But what we are saying here is the fact that we should first of all register to vote. Because when we talk today about coalition, these people have been able to do a coalition with the ruling party, Mr. Tah Mai. Don't forget the fact that who are these people? How many of them represent your view? We should not be carried away. We should not be carried away when 2 people or 3 people that represent a political party comes. Please, when 2 people or 3 people who says that they represent a political party that has 2 militants come up to say we are doing coalition, we should not be carried away with those things.
We are out of
the
time,
real coalition is the Cameroonian people coming together as patriots. That is why the movement for patriotism and people's prosperity come together by registering to vote. Go and register. Mr. Tah Mai.
Please, I want us to look at reality. The thing is, I believe it's honest, but the reality is all the messages that we receive here, of these messages, 99% or if not 100% talk about coalition. Now they keep saying that please, you people should form coalition. I only go and vote if there's coalition. I only go and vote. The parties are here telling us that no, go and register first, and let us look at reality. We are in February. January has passed.
Nobody has
January has passed, and you have just 2 weeks. And you have just 2 weeks to campaign when campaign will officially launch. How long will it take this coalition to be formed? Because the more you don't form a coalition, the more you are telling the Cameroonian people that, because first of all, somebody sent a very important message here. The message the person sent is that plan A is that the coalition should come. Plan B is that we can actually go and defend it when there's a coalition, because we're speaking with one voice. Now, if there's no coalition, this party say, after all, is this party that claim they have won the election and they should go and defend? Is it one that claim they won the election?
Mr. Tah Mai, thank you. I like the queuing. It's very important. And I like your precision as per the time frame. When do electoral registration ends? I think August, right? Maybe you should end in June and August. When is the time frame for coalition? It runs right up to the day of the election. So will you wait as Cameroonians that is the day of the coalition that you go and register where you have a time frame? That is why the MP3 keeps saying that go and register. Remember, we are in a very slippery terrain.
We're out of time.
Yes, we're in a very slippery terrain that you might not underestimate your opponents. So go and register. The time will come.
We're out of time. We are out of time. Prince, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Tah Mai. I wish all the militants of the movement for patriotism and people's prosperity in and out of Cameroon a very, very happy Sunday, and we call on them to be able to push forward our agenda and get the people registered. Happy Sunday to all of you, the patriots.
Thank you.
Javis, there has been a heated one here, but then, as you earlier said, being the voice of the people, we were speaking here and the people were affirming. They were telling you guys what they want. It's not like we are assuming.
Thank you.
Apart from the thing that if coalition is not coming now, at least draw a roadmap. Let's see the opposition on feet doing something.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Mba. Please, we're out of time now. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Tah Mai Javis, for inviting me.
And my special regard to your chairman. We hope that one day we'll have him, because this is we have a few moments to go, and candidates are still in their position. They are not moving from TV to TV.
National chairman is open.
No, like I said, open. Do you not have 1 minute request? No. Let me just. He's a journalist. He knows what we are going through.
My Median Prime has received our national chairman, so I'm honest on that point. I think he was with Mr. Bol Elvis.
on this same platform.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Mr. Javis, let me say this real quick. I've listened to my politician's friend talk. I've listened to Mr. Prince talk. It's not being personal. I've listened to many other politicians sound the way it's sounding. But I think that Cameroon politicians should go and try and look at the difference between goals, objectives, and actions. Goals, targets, and actions. Now, when you are selling an idea, what they do most, they say goals. Goals, I'm coming. Goals have no timeline. So I think that there should be some expertise in the way they present these ideas.
And
so
part of the
no,
you have a nice idea.
I can be a consultant if
you should join.
No,
for now, I reserve myself.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
He's waiting for a coalition. Thank you very much. This program comes up every Sunday at exactly 12 to 1:30 p.m. Rebroadcast will be at 10:30 p.m. today, and it will be on our YouTube channel. If you actually missed the program, you can follow us on our YouTube channel, BT Media Group. You have it on our YouTube channel latest by 10:30. By 10:30 today, you have it on our YouTube channel or our another YouTube channel, My Media Prime TV. We have two YouTube channels, My Media Prime TV or BT Media Group. Subscribe to both channels so that you have updates on the various programs. Follow us on our Facebook page. We have My Media Prime Facebook page. We have BT Media Prime Facebook page. We have a TikTok channel, BT Media Prime, BT Media Facebook, TikTok, or My Media Prime TikTok. And also, if you want to be a panelist, some of you have been saying that this person is not talking so well. This person is supposed to say this person is lying. Please, you know the truth. You have the truth. We are all here in Fengu John Bange. Contact me. The numbers are on your screen, 676431338, for come and speak, as long as you take responsibility of your action. Until we meet again, no matter the matter, what matters is your matter. And what should matter for you is that you should go and register. Inscrivez-vous d'abord. My name is Tah Mai Javis, Cameroon's Commercial Capital, Douala. Bye-bye.